All right, I think I'm live, I'm recording. So hi, I'm Kim Deckard. I'm a holistic health and wellness coach. So today's topic is about 20 health tips that you can do to make it a magical midlife. So I'm excited to give you 20 things that you can take away today to help you with your health and wellness, especially in midlife, because we have little extra struggles going on. So sometimes our body doesn't want to cooperate. So hopefully you can take away some good tips here, and so let's get started. If you're taking notes, that's great. So number one, if you're old enough to remember Jack LaLanne back in the 50s and 60s, and he might have been on TV in the 70s too, but he was always the big fitness guru, and his quote was, exercise is king and then nutrition is queen. So I have taken that and reversed it to say nutrition is king and exercise is queen, because think about the 80-20 rule, which you probably heard of. Is that really what makes our health and wellness either healthy, makes us healthy or not, is our nutrition. 80% comes from our nutrition, 20% comes from movement or exercise. So think of the 80-20 rule. You cannot out exercise a bad diet, I'm sad to say. You can't outwork it. So remember, focusing on nutrition is key. And my first 8 tips rather, are going to be on nutrition, and then I've got some other categories too. But I think nutrition is so important. That's why I wanted to talk about that. So remember Jack LaLanne, he was the guy. Okay, number 2, your gut microbiome is probably the most important organ you've never heard of. So when we think of organs, we always think heart, lung, liver. We never think of our gut microbiome, but our gut microbiome is large and in charge of our health, aka our gut health. So because we have all these good and bad bugs, I did a talk on gut health, so you probably, if you saw that one, otherwise let me know if you want that recording and I can give you access to it. But anyway, a healthy gut means we're in homeostasis. Everything's working together, and we feel good. Our brain, we're thinking well. I mean, just we have energy. It's just going great, okay? An unhealthy gut means, we lack energy. We can have autoimmune diseases, diabetes, inflammation, neurodegenerative diseases, Alzheimer's. So it's really important to focus on gut health. So I want to give you 3 things to think about. This is like a 3-parter for number 2. 3 things to look at food. It's very simple, for simple eating. Number 1, read your label, or hopefully it doesn't have a label, but what are the ingredients? Is it a long list of ingredients that you can't pronounce, or is it a few ingredients and they're all healthy, good ingredients? Number 2, what are the ingredients nutritious? So how nutritious are the ingredients? Is there a lot of sugar in it? Is there seed oil, which shouldn't be any seed oils. We don't want to eat those at all. High sodium. You want to see how nutritious the food is. And number 3, where does it come from? Where do the ingredients come from? Does it come from an organic farm? Does it come from factory farm food? I mean, where or factory farm animals? Where is it sourced? Because that makes a difference. Those 3 simple things can help you feed your gut in the right way. So number 3, this is a tip that if you are struggling with your healthy living, healthy eating, healthy lifestyle, do this one thing and it'll make a difference in your life. That is, make your first meal of the day your healthiest meal. You always want to start with protein, because protein is filling. You need it for your bodily processes. It just gets you off to a great start. So definitely maximize your protein for your first meal of the day. It could be eggs, any way you like them, scrambled, hard boiled, an omelet, bacon if it's nitrate free. You can do a shake, protein shake. One of the things I do, especially when I travel and I don't have a lot of access to things, I'll do almond butter and a Granny Smith apple. So anything that will give you satiated and fat, fiber and fat are extra credit. So not just protein, but you want the fiber and the fat. Carbohydrates are unfortunately kind of a staple for consumer breakfast food here. So that cereals, orange juice, pure sugar, donuts, coffee cake, those will not set you up for success for the day. That's why if you make breakfast your most important, your first meal of the day, your most important, your most healthiest, your most healthy, you will feel so good the rest of the day. And then it'll start to lead to other good habit changing things. So anyway, keep that in mind. So number 4 kind of goes along with breakfast. Start with protein at each meal, or make sure you have protein at each meal. So not only for your first meal of the day, but make sure you have protein at lunch and at dinner, because again, protein is a building block, and you can't, our bodies need protein. Our bodies need protein and fat, believe it or not. We could live without carbs, but we get carbs from vegetables, so we still like those. So protein at every meal. And women, I don't know if you knew this, women should have at least 75 to 90 grams of protein per day, men a little bit higher, but women, especially in midlife, we need to maximize our protein intake. So protein at every meal is key. So number 5, eat healthy fats for your brain health and for energy. Do not fear the fat. We have been sold a bill of goods with low fat and no fat foods that came out when the food pyramid came out in 1983. We need to flip that pyramid on its end, because we need the fats on the bottom, the processed, the breads, the pastas, all those heavy carb-laden foods on the top. We want to minimize those, moderate protein. So we need healthy fat, avocado, extra virgin olive oil, so good for your brain health. There's a study done, I'll tell you this very quickly, a study done on people eating the Mediterranean diet. It was a 5-year study. They put the first group on extra virgin olive oil, like a liter per week. That's about, I think, 7 or 9 tablespoons a day. The second group was put on nuts, extra nuts. And the third group just ate the regular Mediterranean diet. By the end of 5 years, they noticed that the extra virgin olive oil group significantly improved their cognitive, cognition, their brain health. And the nut group did improve a little bit, and the regular group without those declined a little bit. So don't be afraid of the extra virgin olive oil. You can put it on your salads. You can just take a tablespoon here and there. That's what I do. So it's easy to get it in, and don't fear the fat. It's really good, healthy fat. So number 6 is eat more fiber. Fiber is not sexy, I know, but we need fiber to get everything moving. Fiber does so much for us. It just helps with your bodily functions. It helps with your brain, helps with energy. Women should have 25 grams of fiber a day. Shoot for 25 grams. Men, up to 38 grams of fiber. But the average American gets 15 grams of fiber. So we're not coming close to it. So that's why focus on fiber foods, a lot of veggies, fruits. Eat the skin, because you got fiber in the veggie and fruit skins. So you want to make sure that you really focus on getting a variety of fiber in your diet, and you can get that from again, avocado. Avocado is kind of my go-to because it's high in fat and fiber. It's really good, and you just get a lot of bang for your buck. That's how I look at food. Like, what's the nutrition density of it, right? And so I know if it's nutrient dense, it's like, I don't count calories. I just look at the nutrition of food and know if it's healthy or not. So eliminate, number 7, this is eliminate seed oils. Seed oils are high in omega-6s, which cause inflammation. Now, this is easy to remember. Think of the 3 C's and the 3 S's. So the 3 C's are corn, canola, and cottonseed oil. And the 3 S's are soy, safflower, and sunflower. Those are the most widely used seed oils. They've been highly processed. They've been stripped of all their phytonutrients, And because they've been deodorized, they've been extracted, they've been they've just had so many things done to them that they're not like what they were before. They're very unstable to cook with. So I hate to break it to you, but you got to get rid of the Wesson oil. You got to get rid of the Crisco. You got to get all that stuff is not, well, the Crisco is a trans fat, but the seed oils are not your friend. And when you go out to restaurants, you probably know the most popular vegetable in America would be potatoes because French fries, and they're frying those French fries over and over in the same oil. With each frying, they get less and less stable. The oil does, so it gets more volatile. It gets less stable, and so it's really important. Like I would never eat French fries at a fast food place because of that. But better to do them at home. If you want French fried potatoes, make them in your air fryer at home, or bake them. They're so good. But just remember that, and you don't want to reuse your own. If you have it at home, use it once and get rid of it, because it is not your friend. We need omega-3s. So omega-3 fatty acids are from like salmon, extra virgin olive oil. It's the healthy oils versus the seed oils. So the healthy oils are the avocado oil, extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil, and so you really want to focus on those. You can cook with all three of those, and ditch the seed oils, and your body will thank you for it. Just a quick thing about that. So heart disease didn't start coming around. Heart disease is the biggest killer of men and women. It didn't start till like the early 1900s. Crisco came out in 1911. We didn't change. I mean, we've been eating meats, animal meats, and veggies for a long time. It wasn't those that cause heart disease. It is the seed oils when those came out in the early 1900s. So food for thought there. Get rid of your seed oils. Okay. And then number 8, this is my last one for nutrition, is limit the processed foods. If you go in our grocery store today, 80% of the store has processed foods. It's in the middle of the store. You got the veggies on the outside, the veggies and the produce. And what's interesting is, like, and I've thought about this too, it's like, and then they'll have a health food section. Isn't all food supposed to be healthy? But they're calling themselves out. Like, if you're going down the chip aisle, the cracker aisle, the cereal aisle, whatever their sugar, it's, processed foods are not our friend. And the average American adult eats 60% of their diet is processed foods. It should not be more than 20%. So limit your processed foods as much as possible. And just, if you have kids or grandkids, the average American kid today eats 80% of their diet comes from processed foods, which is really scary. So we want to get that way down. So limit your processed foods as much as possible. So, okay, moving on. Number 9, I want to talk about exercise. Strength training. If you're a woman, 50 plus, strength training is your best friend. It helps you do everything better. We are guaranteed to get frail as we get older. It's a given. But so how do we stop that? We have to strength train. If you see people, as they get older, they start getting more hunchy, crunchy, and they can't lift their head, or they're osteoporotic, or have osteopenia. You can fight that. First of all, I'm going to show you something later to show you another little trick. But being able to strength train just gives you power. It empowers you to be stronger and keep your strength, because we just will lose our strength if we don't do anything about it. Frailty will happen if we don't do anything about it. So we really need to work on our strength training. And I just want to make sure I don't forget to say anything. And it also helps your mitochondria, which is our power cells. So strength training helps our power cells, gives us energy, helps with our metabolism. And don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of lifting heavy. I just started a program. I'm in 5 weeks into it. And I started out with 5s and 8s and 10s pound weights. And now I'm up to 10s, 12s, and 15s. and I'm like, I'm feeling stronger, and I feel like I'm able to lift heavy things. And I love that because it just makes you capable. So it'll help you function to the rest of your life. We need to strength train. It's not too late. And so here's another thing to go along with that. Number 10 is to prioritize exercise. Make it a part of your life. Schedule it in. Make a date with yourself that you want to exercise. You can do online work. If you say, I don't have time, I hear that a lot. Oh, I don't have time to exercise. Yes, you do. It's just, you have 30 minutes. You can find 30 minutes, or 20 to 30 minutes to work out. And do an online program where you don't have to drive to the gym and you don't have to drive home. You can do it from the beauty of your own house, which is great. You can also work out earlier. Get up a little bit earlier. It's not going to kill you to get up and get your workout in. It's actually better. It sets you up for great success for the day if you work out earlier anyway. So, and then find a buddy or a coach to help you, to keep you accountable. Because when you're accountable to somebody, it's easier to do it. It just seems easier, and you're like, oh, I don't want to let them down. I got to go, work out with them. So those are easy ways to kind of get your mind around setting up the time to exercise and making it happen. So number 11, this is huge. Prioritize your sleep. Sleep is like a brain bath. It does so much for your body when you allow your body to rest and relax and let your brain just kind of take a moment to, well, more than a moment, but give it that 7, 8, 9 hours of rest that it needs in order to recharge your body. And it also, getting proper sleep helps with your memory. It helps, boost your immune system. And you know how you feel. If you do not get a good night's sleep, it's like, you're cranky, you're grouchy, you don't feel good. You're just not on the top of your game, right? And don't we want to wake up and just jump out of bed and be ready to take on the day? So some sleep strategies that you can do if you're having trouble sleeping, which a lot of people do in midlife, hormone fluctuations and things. Make sure you have a nighttime routine, and then make sure it's a consistent bedtime. You want to, if you're on your device, which most of us are on devices almost 24/7, unfortunately, get off your device an hour or two ahead of time. The other thing you can do is get some blue blocker glasses. They're glasses, you can get them on Amazon, and you can wear those, and they help to block that blue light that is not letting your melatonin, kick in, so that you are getting, your body works to get it ready to go to sleep. So think about that. So that's, or taking magnesium. I take magnesium glycinate every night, because we're 70% of us, I read 70 or 80% of us are deficient in magnesium anyway. Magnesium glycinate is a really good one. Helps with sleep and more. So taking magnesium is not a bad thing. Or taking an Epsom salts bath, which is actually magnesium. Topical magnesium, that's a great way to kind of get your body relaxed, get your body temperature at a good place. And then sleeping in a cool room really helps. Sleeping in a cool room, sleeping in a dark room. I know in the summer, I like when the light comes in, it wakes me up. So like in the summer, I'll wear a sleep mask, and that helps me sleep past when, the 6 a.m. sun comes up. So that's something you could do too. So think about that with sleep. Sleep is super important. Make it a priority. And your body will thank you for that. And then to go along with sleep, number 12 is to get sunlight early in the morning. When we get that sunlight early, it gets on your eyeballs. Don't wear your sunglasses. Just go outside in the sun, 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes if you have it. Just go out and go for a little walk. And then it just helps kick in, release the serotonin, which actually gives you a good mood all day. And then it helps with your sleeping at night, believe it or not. So your morning routine will affect your nighttime routine. So keep that in mind. Getting sunlight in the morning is really helpful. Okay, I want to move on and talk about belly fat. This is number 13. So belly fat. If you are having struggles with belly fat, extra weight going to the middle, are you drinking coffee, first thing in the morning. Because here's the thing, belly fat is caused by raised cortisol levels, which is our stress hormone. And coffee inflates that cortisol levels or stress. And so when you have coffee in the first thing, our cortisol levels are high in the morning for one thing, naturally. So you're exacerbating that. So here's a suggestion to if you want a hot drink, like I would do green tea. Do a tea. It can have caffeine in it because that caffeine will not it does not raise cortisol levels, just coffee caffeine. And then you have your coffee mid-morning. So you still have your coffee, but let your cortisol levels lower and then have your coffee. It really makes a difference. And if you have chronic stress, this will exacerbate that as well. So chronic stress also leads to belly fat. So I know it's not fair. So here's another thing that causes belly fat. This is number 14, over exercising. So if you are doing lots of cardio, you're just not, nor are you letting your body rest in between exercise days or recover, then that also that causes chronic stress, and which leads to belly fat, which means, insulin is our fat storage hormone. So you want to make sure that you don't you don't have to run a marathon. It's working out smarter, not harder. You can work out 30 minutes a day and get great benefits, great results without killing yourself. And another good one is HIIT. So HIIT is high intensity interval training. That's where you do like a short burst of energy. Say you do, 20 seconds of jumping jacks or whatever, or little jumps or something like that. So just a little burst of energy or a little burst of a workout, and then you recover. So it doesn't have to be crazy, like you got to go run big sprints or anything. And that's how I kind of teach my Zumba classes. Like we build up to a high song, and then we take it low, and I take it back up to a higher song. So kind of the same principle. And so don't overtrain. So that's a big one. So let's move to tools. So tools, I recommend using a tracker, a food tracker. If you're not sure what you're getting, let me show you what I use. I use Fat Secret. Well, I went to it I wanted to show you what it looked like. Okay, hope you can see that. It is the green, it looks like a green keyhole, and you know what, it's terrible. Right there right there. I know this lighting is not great. It's white with a green keyhole. And what I do, I tracked my food yesterday. I just put in my breakfast, lunch, and dinner, whatever I ate. And what I love, it breaks down your macros. So I'm going to go to that. And I'm going to show you what it looks like. Let's see. So it breaks down your macros so you can see your carbs, your proteins, your fats. And also what it shows you is your sodium intake, fiber, which is super important, and your sugars, and like I said, protein. And I want to show you what this looks like. Let me put my glasses on real quick, because the yellow is fat, the blue is protein, and the carbs are blue, protein's red. Let's see if I can see what that looks like. You can kind of see, and then you can see the also the things to this is probably backwards to you guys. It shows your calories too. And I used to link this to my Fitbit. It doesn't link to my Apple Watch. But anyway, what this shows me, like I tracked yesterday, I don't count calories. I stopped counting calories 4 years ago. So what I do is when I track my macros, which I like, this is 40% fat and 30% protein, 30% carbs. Usually I'm higher on the protein and less on the carbs. But when I look at my other numbers, my dietary fiber, I was a little bit low on that. It was 20.5. And then my sugars, I was a little high. You don't want over 25 grams of added sugars. I was 27. But my ratio, my macros were good. I was only at 1,330 calories, and I was full. I couldn't have eaten more. I was full. But my protein, I had 97 grams of protein, which is really good. That's more than the 90. So the protein was really good. And so this is a great way. You don't know it unless you track your food. I hear so many people say, "Oh, I eat healthy. I eat healthy, blah, 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 blah. These are people that are having, issues, and they always say, but I eat healthy. And I said, well, you really don't know until you track. You don't know what you're doing until you track it. So I always recommend a food tracker, and I like Fat Secret. You can do My Fitness Pal. So now my next tool I want to show you, and I think this will be perfect. So I'm going to walk over to the wall. You can do this right now. So find a flat wall space where you line yourself up. And I'm lining up on 3 points. I got my heels touching, I got my hips touching, my upper back, and the back of my head. So everything's in alignment. My ears are over my shoulders, over my hips, over my heels. And you see how this feels. Keep your shoulders relaxed, standing tall, and then just step away. And then you hold that and see how that feels. Is this normally, are you not usually standing this tall? Because many of us start to get all hunchy. So that is a great way. Posture, you can tell part of poor posture is a weak core, but you want to have a strong, upright position because that keeps yourself upright. Think of a string, pulling your head up, keeping it helps to not compress your vertebra. And it's a sign of old age when you're going like this, right? So we want to like really open up and stay lifted and stay upright. How many people do you see in your life who are elderly are walking bent over with a cane, with a walker? I see too many, and I've only seen 2 people in my life who have walked upright till their end of their years. And one was my husband's grandmother. She died at 99, and she was very active. She was washing her cellar walls in her 80s. So she was always just doing something very active. She lived in a farm, not a farm, but a farm existence. And then and then another woman I know who's also 90. She's 90 now, and she stands tall and upright, and she's very active. She works out, she exercises. So it can be done. It's not the norm to get all bent over and frail. It's not the norm, but it's becoming the norm. So, or it has become the norm. So we can fight that. So stand tall. Do that little trick. I do it with my whole family in my classes. So 17, change starts when you know your why. Okay, this is now the next 4 about mindset. So you need to know your why if you want to make a change, whether it's to get healthy, you want to just make a positive change in your life. And knowing your why will keep you motivated and will keep you on track to achieve your goals. So my why is that so I'm 65 now, and my why is I want to dance at my grandkids' weddings when I'm in my 80s or 90s, whenever that is. So that's my, and then to just live strong. I want to be strong and empowered, be able to do things, and not like, I want to be able to bend over and pick up things and just, be active. We want to still travel. And who says that, you got to stop traveling, whatever, in your 80s? You don't have to. It's like, live young. Try to live as young as you can for as long as you can. And it pays off. So, because whatever you're doing today will determine how you age later, right? So knowing your why and change, like, oh, I should do this, or I have to do this, to I want to do this. I want to do this because I know it's going to pay off for me. It's going to pay off. I'm going to feel great and live a long, healthy lifespan. So know your why. Okay, here's another mindset thing. Out of sight, out of mind. Okay. So here's an easy way to set yourself up for success when you want to make a change. And that is getting rid of the junk food that's in your house that's not going to serve you. If you got an Achilles heel with, I don't know what it can be, with donuts or cookies or crackers or whatever it is, get it out of your house. Don't buy it. Don't bring it in. Like I said, out of sight, out of mind. You won't eat it, right? And that's what we found to be true, especially in our house. It's like, you know what? You don't even buy that because it's not, it's not going to serve you. So that way you get rid of temptation and, it's just, and that way you set yourself up for success. So remember that. That's a big one. Clean out your pantry, clean out your fridge, get rid of the crapola stuff that you know is not really great. Give it away, throw it away, whatever. Don't go on an eating binge and eat it all. Okay, so another one, number 19, is to practice gratitude. Having an attitude of gratitude is really key with our mental state. And studies have shown that when you, like, if you are thankful or being grateful for things every day, just being grateful for everything you have, you're 25% happier. And when you're happy, when you're happier, is just, exudes in your life, and everything seems better. It doesn't seem as hard, right? So creating that gratitude, that positive mindset, it just feeds on itself, and it's easy to do the things you want to do. So, and then number 20, this is one I really want you to think about. Choose your hard. Yes, it's hard to eat healthy. It's hard to make those choices. It's hard to make yourself do it sometimes. But what's harder, choosing to eat healthy now or fighting disease later? Because disease is hard. That's not fun. I know too many people my age and younger who are getting cancer, who are getting diabetes diagnosis, who are just going through some not very fun illnesses. And these can be preventable through largely through lifestyle. So choose your heart. Choose your heart to, what do you want to do? Do you want to be healthy now? And really, when you start doing it and you start living it, it's like it gets easier and easier. It's not like you're fighting anything, you're feeling deprived or, wishing you had something different. It's like, oh, this is working and I feel amazing. Instead of, waiting, saying, I'm going to do whatever I want, eat whatever I want, drink whatever I want, whatever happens, happens, then it's going to happen, So anyway, thank you for listening. And thank you for being here. And I hope this was helpful for you. So please, if you have any questions, please drop them below or comments. I appreciate that. And I'm going to figure out how to stop this recording. And I appreciate you listening, and I hope to talk to you soon.